Okay, so today we're stepping into the ring, not literally, with Chris Bevan, who owns No Mercy Wrestling Event Production.
Correct.
It's a pro wrestling company producing live events in and around South Wales.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Let me warm you up with a question that I'm asking everyone,
Okay.
annoyingly. What's your favourite song of all time that's got lyrics?
Oh, a lot of people that know me know I'm into my heavier stuff, metal.
I'm expecting you to say something heavy, but you might not.
I don't think
Here we go.
what I'm going to say you won't expect. I'm also into hip hop, but probably my favorite song of all time is "Into the Mystic" by Van Morrison.
And how does that go?
I don't want to sing. I'm not a good singer. The chorus goes, "I want to rock your gypsy soul." You might know it if you hear it.
Oh, I probably would if I heard it. Yeah.
My family's from Ireland, so
Okay, yeah.
they're big into Van Morrison.
Into
and
that kind of thing.
stuff,
And
so,
yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, that's probably my favorite song of all time, I'd say.
So No Mercy Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
How did that come to life? What brought about you actually creating that event production company?
Well, I started as a wrestler, and I started very, very late. Most wrestlers will start training average around 18 to 20 years old, quite young. Some do start earlier. There's some training schools that do teen classes, and some will start at 14, sometimes 15 maybe. But I didn't start training until I was 29, so that's quite late in the world of wrestling.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
That's like a footballer starting to play football at 30. It's unheard of.
It's uncalled for.
Yeah, it's very, very rare. So, but I've been a fan forever, obviously. And I've always wanted to try it, but I grew up in West Wales in Pembrokeshire, where there is nothing, basically. There's just nothing happening.
But it looks lovely.
It's lovely.
Yeah.
Scenery is great, and the beaches are beautiful, but if you want to do something like this, it's not going to happen, so you got to leave.
Yeah.
And it's always been like 10, 15 years behind the rest of the country, the rest of Wales, so I was never in a position where I could be like, I want to be a wrestler, but there's no way for me to do it, and back then as well, especially when I was a teenager, there wasn't a wrestling school on every street corner like there is now. Like there's just in Wales, just off the top of my head, there's 5, I think.
There is quite a few because I looked into it.
There's a good amount
recently.
But when I was a teenager and I was into wrestling, I wanted to become a wrestler. There was maybe one, and to get into it, you had to know someone. It wasn't a case of just messaging them and go, "Can I be a wrestler? Can I train?"
You can't just turn up.
Can't just apply. So you had to kind of know someone to get into the industry, because it was still guarded at the time. It was still what we call kayfabe, which is the secret word for the secret world of wrestling, where everything is is put out as if it's real, kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
So, so I'm pulling back the curtain a little bit.
As in, like, people don't want anyone finding out about how it works.
Yes,
you
exactly.
need to be
So
that
it was
makes
it was
sense.
very guarded. It was very gate kept.
Yeah.
Because back then it was still, the secrets were still protected. It was still at a point where, people still thought it was real. Or at least a lot of people.
When did people stop knowing that? As in, like, when did people find out, or it was common knowledge that wrestling was more like a performance than actual?
It varies. Some people will say it was revealed in the 80s. Some people say they've always known. That's not true. There's still people you can probably guess what country in America that still think it's real today. But like, I would say mid to late 90s is where the mass majority of people started to realize what was going on.
Okay,
And then Vince McMahon, of course, actually came out and publicly said, what we do is a performance.
So then there's no going back from that, because everyone's going to hear that.
Do you want to know the reason why he said that?
Why?
It wasn't because he wanted to be nice to people. It's because he was trying to get out of paying sports tax for his business, for WWF at the time.
Oh, okay.
So when it was being portrayed as a legitimate sport, there was different taxes you had to pay and different insurances you had to have. You had to have sports commission inspections. You had to have licenses to wrestle. As soon as Vince McMahon came out and said, no, this is all just a performance, all of that went away.
So as soon as it's not a sport, none of those insurances and taxes and all that.
Because it's not competitive. You don't need doctors at ringside. Like, say, in UFC or boxing, you have to have doctors at ringside because it's competitive.
Because they're genuinely hurting each other. Yeah.
I mean, they do have medics in wrestling. Like, we have a medic at every single show, but it's not like the UFC where it's like specifically a doctor in a lab coat out there to help people.
Yeah.
But went off on a tangent there. But Vince McMahon basically told everyone in the late 90s, yeah, what we do is it's a performance. And since
it's good enough
then,
reason.
yeah, since then it's kind of become common knowledge.
It's
what
common
it's
knowledge, yeah.
the way I see it is like obviously you get people that, oh, it's fake. Why do you like it? All of this stuff. And the way I see it is like, do you go to the cinema to watch Avengers knowing that it's not real? Do you still enjoy it? Do you still get entertained?
It's a performance. It's
a
entertainment.
performance art.
Yeah.
It's just a different type of. I describe it as live violent soap opera.
But it is fun.
It's brilliant.
It is fun. It's a
so
laugh.
much fun.
Yeah.
And the best compliment I ever get is when, like, I can pull in wrestling fans to my shows very easily because they love it. It's easy to get someone into a show that loves it.
Yeah.
What's hard is getting people that don't know anything about it to love it.
Yeah, yeah.
And
because they have a certain misconception about it, don't they?
Exactly. So usually what it is we'll get the kids in because they love wrestling, they love John Cena, they love Rey Mysterio. They'll want Mum, Dad, I want to go see the wrestling. The best compliment I can get is when the dad that sat at the back of the hall with his arms folded, who not really paying attention, he doesn't want to be there. He's just there to bring the kids.
Yeah, he's just there to keep his kid happy.
He's just there to bring the kids.
Yeah.
And by the end of the show, he's like, yeah.
He's getting into it.
And he's in the front row screaming at the bad guys. And the grandmothers as well. The grandmothers, like...
They get into it as well, do they?
Oh, yeah.
Are
They're
they
still
brutal?
into it. So it's usually the age bracket that used to watch World of Sport in the 80s and 90s on a Saturday afternoon, on ITV or HTV. And it's usually that age bracket that's still heavily into it. And certain towns you go to, like I wrestled in Ringland in Newport once.
Yeah.
And this is a town that loved World of Sport and all of that kind of thing. And I was a bad guy there. But I was like the top bad guy, or what we call a heel.
What was your wrestling name?
Can I swear?
Yeah, of course you can.
Bevan the Bastard Son.
Bevan the Bastard Son.
So I took that moniker.
That's a nice mouthful.
I took it. I'm a big fan of alliteration. So Bevan the Bastard Son. It
that
rolls quite nice.
Nicely.
And I'm a big fan of Motorhead and the Bastard Sons.
Yeah,
So
I like that.
That's where I took it from. Anyway, so I was wrestling in Newport, and I was the big bad heel. I was the champion at the time as well. So I came out. I was circling the ring, and the crew had to physically hold kids and grandmothers back because the grandmother was trying to hit me with her glass bottle.
Yeah.
Because I was winding them up so much, the kids were trying to get at me. But the grandmother threw.
Oh my God.
She tried to hit me with a bottle.
Did she try to glass you?
Yeah. And when she couldn't get the bottle, she threw. She had like a bag, like a carrier bag full of, I'm assuming, sweets or whatever was in it. She threw that at me. It hit me in the head. But I was like, I loved it.
That's brilliant.
Because I knew I'd done my job.
Do you know what? I would love to see something like that.
So
like audience interaction, especially like an OAP, for example,
You ain't
throwing their handbag at you.
You ain't getting that at the Christmas planto.
Hell no.
You might get them shouting, but they ain't going to throw a handbag
They ain't going to
at
get that far.
you, but
try and glass you as well.
I know, right? So it's so much fun. Honestly, being a bad guy is the funnest part of wrestling.
I can imagine it's better to be the villain, isn't it?
Like, don't get me wrong. It's great having like, kids cheer you and come up and ask for your autograph and all of that stuff. But just winding people up when you're allowed to do it. It's great. It's so fun.
Okay, let's go. Sorry, we went off on a tangent then, didn't we? It's because I asked you another question within a question. So you were getting to the point of how you actually started No Mercy. What led you to create that event?
Like a lot of new businesses, COVID actually was the main root of it. So I was, as I said, I started training when I was 29, and I was about 2 years in, I think, when COVID hit, just over, maybe 2.5 years. And as like with most things, COVID shut everything down, shut everything performance-wise, wrestling, music, everything. So obviously the wrestling had to stop too, wrestling training had to stop. And unfortunately, by the time everything had opened up again, a lot of training schools and promotions had to close because they just couldn't afford to keep, which is unfortunate. But it's like a lot of businesses, the way it went. So I saw an opening, I saw a hole in the market, and I was like, so there was a big school in Cardiff. It was called Dragon Pro Wrestling. They had to close, and then there was another school. There's a big touring company in Wales called Welsh Wrestling, and they do all of the holiday camps, Butlins. It's shows aimed at like the younger kids, a lot more pantomime-y, but still great. It's a great experience to get on those shows. But they had a school in Swansea which closed as well. So I was like, there's a gap in the market here. So I was looking into it, and I opened up originally. So it wasn't a promotion originally; it was a training school. So I opened up a training school. It was like a unit in Caerphilly. I bought a ring. I had to go drive all the way to Glasgow for it.
Yeah.
With 2 vans. That's an entire different podcast.
Oh, that's a trip, isn't it? Jesus.
It was a story and a half, that one. But
yeah.
So I got a ring. We opened up.
Yeah.
And then eventually, I had, long story short, I had everyone in my ear going, like, you need to run a show. You need to run a show, run a show, run a show.
Yeah.
And I'd been involved with the previous place I was involved with in Swansea that I'd left at that time. I was involved with helping running those shows. And I knew exactly how much stress is involved in it.
Yeah.
In promoting and running events. But also I had experience with running music gigs.
Yeah.
Like a few years before that. So I knew how much stress is involved, and I knew how hard it is, and how thankless it can be sometimes.
Yeah.
So I had no you
didn't have any interest in
it. I was like, I just want to do what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I want to run this. I want to run the training unit, and I want to wrestle. That's all.
Yeah.
But eventually,
Did you give in to peer pressure?
I gave in to peer pressure, yeah. And I run a show, and that was 2022, and we're still here.
That was your first one?
That was the first one.
Yeah?
Yeah, we ran it in a place called Team Reese Gym in Caerphilly. They let us use their big sports hall because they had speakers and lighting on it. And,
yeah.
It was great. It went well. Didn't look anything like what we have now, because what we have now is...
It looks awesome now.
It's
I don't know what it looked like before, but... Yeah,
it was very, very stripped
cool.
away. I mean, we didn't even have an entrance curtain. We just put up like a tarp. it was very
just dangle a blanket in front of them.
Yeah, exactly. It was very DIY. Very like gung ho type, guerrilla style event running.
Yeah.
But it was amazing. We got, I think we had like 85 people, which isn't horrible. It's not amazing, but not horrible.
For a first event, though.
Especially just after COVID too.
Yeah.
It was because obviously, our first event was actually had to be postponed because of the second lockdown.
Right. Okay.
So we had
I forget when all those were. To be fair,
it's like a time that
it's just like a time that didn't actually exist.
When you think about it, it's like, why did we do all of that?
Yeah, but, I agree.
Yeah, that's another another
story, isn't it?
So we had our first show actually scheduled for January 2022, and then they had that second lockdown. Or over the Christmas one, the second one they did. So we had to postpone it, unfortunately. Yeah. And we redid it in March then. So I think that affected the numbers a little bit, because a few people were like, oh, well, I don't want to buy tickets in case it gets postponed
just in
again.
case. Yeah, people, there was a time of cautiousness with actually doing anything, because you don't know if it's going to be cancelled or not. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So, but yeah, it went well, and we carried on. And... yeah, nearly 4 years later, we're here with the second promotion as well.
Nice. You actually answered my second question anyway. I was going to ask what your first event was like.
There we are.
It's just rolling into it. Jay always laughs at me because I keep looking at him every now and again. He's like, stop looking at me. No, that's cool. So, okay, we'll move on from that then. So, were you always a wrestling fan growing up? And who were your childhood heroes in the ring?
Ooh, yeah, always a fan. My first memory of wrestling, like actually remember of watching a full match, was probably Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, the Iron Man match in WrestleMania, and Shawn Michaels is, I'd say, probably my favorite wrestler of all time. I was obviously, like most people my age, a huge Hulkamaniac.
Yeah.
Not so much anymore because of
everyone knows Hulk Hogan.
Of course they do.
Everyone does. Surely.
There's not one person on the planet, surely, that knows who Hulk... Or even if they don't know what he did, they know the name.
They would surely see a picture of him and go, okay, yeah, I know
him.
At least that's a wrestler.
Yeah.
You would know.
And they just see the yellow and red and they know Hulk Hogan. That's his brand.
That's it, yeah.
That's why they were so... Like, him and Vince McMahon, that's why they were geniuses, because they knew the time of like... marketing wrestling the way they were doing it is over. We need to hit the mainstream, and we need to make it colourful for kids, basically. And they brought out the cartoons, they brought out the breakfast cereal, they brought out all the merch. Because before Hulk Hogan, it's crazy to think about it now when you think about how big the machine is. But they barely did any merchandise for wrestling before Hulk Hogan. You might get the odd T-shirt here and there that the individual wrestler would have, but a company, a massive multi-million-dollar company like WWE. They never did merchandise, which
so
is crazy.
he kind of brought the merch in then. He was the
he made that a thing. And then, well, you just saw Hulk Hogan on everything then, you know.
Don't you find wrestling, like I always think this about wrestling, I find it very 80s. And not even just like basing it on 80s wrestlers. Whenever I watch wrestling or anything to do with it, I always think it just makes me think 80s.
It has an era.
In a good way. I don't mean in a bad way. Like I think it's very nostalgic.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I think that's why a lot of people, especially like in my age bracket, still love it because it reminds them of being a kid.
Yeah.
When times were simpler, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what we aim to do as well. Like, with our shows, we aim to just have people forget about the real world for 2.5 hours, and they don't have to worry about the bills or the stresses or whatever's going on outside. You know, like they can forget about it.
It's a nice escape, isn't it?
Have an escape, have some entertainment, and just laugh and
Yeah.
have fun.
So
or cry or whatever they want to do.
I'll ask you to explain then a wrestling show. So for people who've never been to an indie wrestling show, how would you describe the experience?
It depends on the type of show. The type that we do. We have a nice mixture, I feel, of the content that's aimed towards maybe a younger fan, but also we don't alienate the actual wrestling fan or what we call marks.
Yeah.
It used to be a derogatory term, but it's not anymore. So it's fine. I can say it. It's fine.
What you call them? What? Sorry.
Marks.
Marks.
So it all came from. I'm going to go a little bit into history of wrestling now.
Oh,
so it all comes from the fairgrounds and the carnivals. So wrestling started in the carnivals back in the 1930s, where it was basically you'd have the ring in the middle of the carnival or the fairground. You'd have a big wrestler or what we call a shooter. So an actual legit wrestling or jiu-jitsu guy, someone who can legit tie you up in a knot. And hurt you. And they would call out in the crowd and say, if you can beat this guy, you win $50, $100, whatever it was at the time.
That's amazing.
And most of the, obviously, 9 times out of 10, the wrestler would beat them.
Of course.
And, you know, so how they would pick the people out in the crowd was they would have staff or crew go out around the crowd throughout the day, scope people out and go, that person's losing a lot of money, that person's gambling a lot. And they would physically go up behind them with some chalk and mark them.
Oh.
They become the mark.
Yeah.
So it's the same in any kind of industry where you are trying to pull the wool over someone's eyes, for example, like magic or throwing hoops over something in the carnival. Yeah. They're all what they call marks. So that's where it comes from.
That's cool.
So fans are called marks. And it used to be derogatory because it used to be you used to use it for a fan who was overly enthusiastic about wrestling or overly zealous about wrestling or someone who thought
like an easy target or something.
Yeah, someone who you could easily convince.
So that's why it's seen as a derogatory thing because they're saying you're an easy target or you're like.
But nowadays it's like fans call themselves marks because it's a way to identify yourself to another wrestling fan who's like, I'm a mark. Yeah. You know,
and people understand it.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just it's kind of worked its way into vocabulary now. It's like, say for example, like I'm a huge Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan, and so I would say I'm a mark for the Turtles. You know,
okay,
so I'm a mark for this.
So you use that in other terms then,
exactly. So it filters out. Yeah. But yeah. Anyway, so I think for our shows we kind of cater for both. We cater for maybe not the wrestling fan, just someone who might be interested in it, have never been before, and they like, do you know what, I fancy giving it a try. Or the young kids who maybe like see it on TV and they've never been to a live show and they're like, I want to see what it's like. But then we also have storylines. Like I'm big on long-term storytelling where the wrestling fan can get invested because we do a lot of it on our social media too. We put out promos and videos and vignettes and stuff, which carries on the storyline of the shows.
Yeah, so I have noticed that. Like you, it's almost like one show but goes into another from, and they're like, oh, last time this happened, but this time we're going to do this.
Perfectly explained. Yeah, that's exactly what we do. So it's a way for people to keep up with it, even if they haven't been to the show. Maybe they've missed one, or they've missed, or they can't get to the next one. They can at least keep up to date with the stories by looking at the videos online.
They can at least see the videos,
So, that's basically what we aim for, is a nice mixture of different types of fans.
Yeah.
But like I said to you earlier, the biggest compliment we have is when I can convert someone who maybe not be a wrestling fan and they're like, do you know what? I absolutely bloody love that.
I bet that's a nice feeling, isn't it?
It's great. It's great.
Almost like a stubborn, I don't like this kind of thing. And then by the end of it,
and they're into
you love that.
It happened on Sunday. We had a show in Newbridge Memo for VCW, and my photographer, his girlfriend, brought her sister.
Yeah.
And she'd never experienced wrestling before in her life, not even seen it. She'd obviously, she knows of it, but she'd never sat down and watched it. She'd never experienced it whatsoever.
Yeah.
And afterwards, I was like, I'm really interested to know your thoughts. Like, what do you think of it? And she went, well, what's going to happen now in this match? And she started reeling off all the stories. And I was like, got it.
Yeah, I got you hooked. And you want to know more.
So I started laughing, smiling. She went, damn it, I'm hooked. So she was like, I got to come to the next one now. I was like, that's the key.
Oh, and I suppose that's how you keep getting people paying tickets to come, because you're leaving them hanging.
Exactly.
They want to say, oh, I want to see what happens at the next event. And I'll say, yeah.
So for a good example is on Sunday we have a tournament called the Iron Cobra tournament. And it's basically a tournament for newer wrestlers to get their name out there and get some experience. And we had the 2 semi-finals on Sunday. And then we had the finalists meet up in the ring and have a bit of a face-off.
Yeah.
And then, so the final now won't be until November. So I had so many people going like, well, when's the final? When's that happening? I want to see the final.
Teasing people.
Well, funny you should mention it. Here's a flyer.
It's great. I love it. So let's talk about behind the scenes of the wrestling events then. What goes into producing a live wrestling event from setup to the final bell? And what's the toughest part about running a wrestling promotion?
I mean, a lot of people don't see exactly what goes into it. A lot of people think it's just the day of the show, but it's just constant. It's so, example, we had a show on Sunday. A lot of people go, oh, the show's done, you can relax for a few days now. I was like, nope, it's literally the next day I'm online promoting the next one.
Yeah.
I'm set. I'm always 2 shows ahead, basically.
Yeah.
So if depending on when they fall in the calendar, obviously it could be 2 or 3 months worth of storylines for 2 different promotions as well. You gotta remember, because a lot of people don't realize like it's 2 different sets.
Yeah.
I've got to be 2 or 3 shows ahead of schedule, thinking ahead, and then a spanner could be thrown in the works. Maybe a wrestler gets injured and they can't make it, or maybe a wrestler, I don't know.
What would you do in a situation like that then?
You got to change on the fly.
You just have to change the script around or whatever, the story. Yeah.
We do it on the day of show sometimes. Like I actually did it on Sunday where I had to switch some matches around because a wrestler wasn't going to get there on time.
Okay.
Because they were from far away.
Right, yeah.
So you got to just be ready to change.
Improvise a little bit, yeah.
It's all improvisation.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Can imagine.
So, but yeah, there's a lot that goes into it preparation-wise before the actual show. That's where all of the legwork, I guess you could say, like flyering, postering outside. Literally, I'm out in the street sometimes, just literally going, do you like wrestling? No? Well, have you ever thought about going to a show? No? Well, how about having a look at this? Maybe you like it.
Come to one event.
Yeah. The worst people can say is no.
Exactly.
That's what I always tell my street team, because I've got a street team that we're starting soon, and I'm trying to train them I'm going to be training them in the ways of trying to persuade people to come to a show.
Yeah.
Salesman, basically.
Yeah. How to schmooze people. That's what we call it.
I mean, that's essentially what a promoter is a salesman. That's all we do. That's all of wrestling is. We're selling stuff.
Yeah.
We're selling an experience. We're selling emotion. We're selling merchandise. We're selling the show. We're selling everything.
Yeah.
So it's just a case of like getting out there and talking to people, because there's a lot of promotions out there now that don't do that anymore, I find.
Yeah.
They rely a lot more on online. Which, don't get me wrong, online is a huge part of our business, but you just can't beat speaking to someone face-to-face.
In-person interactions.
Yeah, and getting their real-time thoughts on something. Or feedback, especially after a show. I talk to every fan I can coming out of a show.
I bet that's really important for you to do that, actually, to go around and speak to the people that are actually coming to the shows, because then they feel more like it's a personal experience.
They feel involved.
Do you really care about the whole thing?
They're not just a ticket to me,
totally.
All of these people, I genuinely want to know what they feel about my product. I genuinely want to know that they're enjoying it.
That's good though.
And it's great when you hear a family say, "Oh, that was one of the best nights I've ever had. We're definitely coming back." So we do meet and greets with the wrestlers, and I always tell my wrestlers on my roster when they're coming around and they're signing things, I'm like, ask the people, where did you find out about us? Did you know about us previously? Have you been before? Are you going to come back? Who's your favorite? That kind of.
It's good background information for you as well, isn't it?
Not only is it great, market research, but it's also it makes fans feel like they're involved, and it makes them feel like they're cared about, and that's the secret.
That's it.
They just want to be involved. They want to feel like they're part of the show and that they're cared about, and they're not just a number on a seat. you know,
that's really important to people as well. It's important to people who are customers, but it's also important to people who are, let's say, employees. But do you know what I mean? People who work for that company.
100%.
Yeah.
100%,
There's nothing worse than, like, I always moan about stuff like this, big corporate companies, and you know every staff member and every customer is just a number and a ticket. That's all it is.
Yeah.
There's no...
I think that's why
I
could probably never go back to working for a company again, now that I'm self-employed. Like,
yeah.
Because... Like you said, like it's made me, working for myself has made me realize just how much of a number I was. And that if I dropped dead tomorrow, I'd be replaced the next day.
But at the same time, you never want to be that person that treats someone like a number.
Exactly. Yeah.
From experience, innit?
From experience, exactly.
Or we could go really deep with this.
I've got lots to talk about on that.
Yeah, I know. That's another podcast.
Absolutely.
Okay, so thinking about wrestlers that you have for your events, how do you scout or choose wrestlers who appear at No Mercy events?
So originally it started off because it was the guys that trained with me, the guys I knew from when I was wrestling. I'm injured at the moment. When was it? July. I broke my tibia and ruptured my ACL in my left knee.
Wrestling?
Yeah. I landed on it a bit wrong. I'll show you the video later. It's horrible.
Do I want to see that?
Oh, it's great. It's great. It's people say like, oh, I don't want to see it, and then they're like, actually,
they show it with pride. I am interested, actually.
Yeah. So it generally, literally, was just people that I used to wrestle with and who used to train with me. And then eventually, obviously, the more shows you do, the more shows that I wrestle on, you get around the country and you start meeting people, you start getting friendly with different wrestlers, you start working with different wrestlers, of course, and then you're like, they'd go over well down in my way, or maybe you'd be good at this and this role, because obviously different wrestlers play different roles on different shows.
You're thinking about your storylines.
Exactly. So I could be a really popular good guy in this place, but then 2 hours up the motorway, I could be like the most hated bad guy.
Yeah.
And it still works.
Switch it around.
Because it's different areas, you know. So it's still like what we call the territory days there's like unspoken boundaries of territories around the country. Well, it's not necessarily like strict, but it used to be strict. Like if a company tried to go into another company's territory, it would, it's worse than the schoolyard.
Is it really that? Is it like gangland or something?
It's
not that bad.
Not that bad.
No.
To the point, it is, arguments-wise it is, but when it actually comes to action, nothing really happens.
Okay,
it's more like...
just all bad words.
It's more like schoolyard stuff,
Yeah.
you know? It's all like, oh, you...
I got beef with you.
Yeah, but when it comes to face-to-face, nothing would happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like... So it still works in the sense, though, that I could, as I said, be a good guy in this promotion, say, down Southampton, for example, and then I go to Birmingham and be the worst, horrible bad guy you can think of.
Yeah.
It still works because most of the time the fans aren't going to both.
Yeah,
so
totally.
They stick to the same
so
ones.
you can have different characters with the same person, but
so that's why it works great, because I can have this wrestler A on No Mercy, and then I can have them go to VCW, even though they kind of share the same universe storyline wise. You can still change it up a little bit.
Yeah.
So it works well.
Gives you more material then as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's just more options. You know?
Yeah,
and
totally.
Creatively then, because I basically come up with all the storylines, and with the wrestlers' help, I have to say that. You know, it's not all me, of course. Just in general as well, the whole team is not all me. I have an amazing team behind me.
Yeah.
My partner, Larry, she is basically in front of the curtain, out front. She's in charge of anything to do with the merchandise table.
Is she like an events manager then, is she? Or?
Yeah, so she actually went to uni for events management,
which
I didn't know.
That's handy.
For a long time. And then she was actually involved in the business. She went, by the way, and I was like, why didn't you tell me that before?
You tell me this sooner. My job could have been so much easier.
It was brilliant.
Yeah,
so she started off, literally just my admin manager. She was like great at the admin side of things, like paperwork and.
It's nice to have someone to help you with that, isn't it?
Because my brain was exploding at the time. Because I'm all about the creative stuff.
Yeah.
Like when it comes to, it's like when I went to uni, the academics side of it, I was terrible at. So it's the same in the business. So she came on essentially just to help me out with admin, office-based things.
Yeah.
Like her nickname is the Spreadsheet Queen because she's great at spreadsheets.
Spreadsheet
she loves it.
I love a spreadsheet.
Yeah, she absolutely loves them. So, and then eventually, she started getting involved in other aspects of the business, and then she's like, that's when she started like doing seating plans for me,
and
running the merch and the refreshment stand, and just being the liaison between me and the front of house.
Yeah, and that's very important.
Very important, hugely important. And then I noticed, I was like, do you know what, you're actually pretty good at this. She went, oh, well, yeah, I went to uni for it. I'm like, now you tell me.
That explains it.
So, yeah, she kind of runs everything out front. I run everything creatively and at the back, basically. But, yes, so it's literally just a case of, like, you do scout. You know, I'll go to a different show, like, because obviously, as I said, I do ring and event production hire. So I hire out my equipment, like the ring, lightings, entranceway, that kind of stuff, to different promotions.
Yeah.
We work with a few in Wales, we work in England, so I'm always at a show. At least.
So you end up watching other people's shows with other people's wrestlers.
Exactly,
and,
yeah. So I'm at least once a week I'm out at a different show, you know.
Yeah.
If it's not mine, it's someone else's where I'm hiring out something.
Yeah, totally, yeah.
So I've always got my finger on the pulse of what's going on.
Yeah.
And it's a great way to scout.
I can imagine.
A lot of my talent on my roster, I've either wrestled them and gone, they're great, I want you, or I've seen them on a show and gone, they would work.
It's a good way to scout someone out by wrestling them.
It is.
Oh,
generally, like the guy, for
great
example,
wrestle.
The guy that I was in the ring with when I injured my knee, Chris Aries. Not only is he a fantastic talent, but he's a great person, and I'm huge on that.
Yeah,
I would rather work with someone who is a really sound person and who puts in effort and has the right mindset for what we do.
Yeah,
and they may be an average wrestler. I'd rather work with that person than someone who is seen as the best but is a shit person. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
I much
agree
prefer
with you
doing
more.
that.
Yeah.
Luckily, Chris Aries is both. He's a great wrestler and he's a great person.
And a great person.
So, I felt bad because I did this right at the start of our match, so we didn't get to finish it.
Oh, no way. So, does that mean you can carry that on, though, at some point?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that can turn into a story.
That can turn into another story.
So that was at a promotion called Dragon Kingdom where I work for in various different roles.
Yeah.
And so, I felt really bad because I was like, I didn't get... It was like his first match there in a long time, and I was like... The fans hadn't seen him in a while, and it was a big deal for him.
Completely ruined it.
So I felt like I'd ruined it. So I need to do something to make it up to him. So we've been very lucky that we've been in 2 Sidemen videos with KSI and all those guys. Yeah, they rented our ring for various different things they do. So the last one we did, they wanted 2 wrestlers. So I was like, Chris. We'll get him in it because he lived close as well, so it was perfectly. He lives like Oxford way.
Oxford way.
So
were you going to try and say Oxfordshire?
I was trying to say Oxfordshire. Yeah, Oxford.
I get tongue tied. It's so funny.
So that's literally how it works. Every now and again, don't get me wrong, people will send in through email or direct message like their CV. Yeah. Or I say CV, it's more just here's clips of me working.
I can imagine there's a lot of people that
So I do it on my TikTok. I always say like the best way to get my attention as trying to get a promoter's attention, because the amount of messages I get where it's literally just can I have a job.
Okay, yeah.
That doesn't work. You know?
It doesn't do anything for you, does it?
No.
Okay, so what's next for No Mercy Wrestling? Are there any big events or plans on the horizon?
Yeah, we've got our last show of the year on November 30th, Sunday, November 30th in Philly Leisure Centre. So that's always our big flagship end of the year celebration. It's like we tend to usually finish up storylines, start new ones for the next year, that kind of thing. So yeah, we've got a big event then, and then next year we are going even bigger with the production. As we've talked about production earlier, you know, like I would say like we're pretty much one of the leading companies in the country for production wise. I would say we're one of the best. You know, I don't mean to toot my own horn, but beep beep.
No, it looks great.
But next year, you know, we're going even bigger again. What I've got planned for next year is going to be like no one's ever seen it before.
That sounds cool.
I'm really excited for it.
It sounds like something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, 100%.
Keep an eye on it.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so let's do a quick fire round.
Okay.
Fun questions, obviously related to wrestling.
Sure.
Right. Hero or villain?
As in, like, what I would prefer to be?
Yeah.
Villain.
Steel cage or ladder match?
Put your hands together. Ladders in the steel cage.
Dream wrestler that you'd love to book?
Oh, probably Mick Foley.
Entrance music that always gets you hyped?
Tell you what, it's one of our guys, Chicago Desai. He comes out to Rick James, and he's got like a gimmick of he's like a funky. I always call him. He looks like the bass player from Prince's band.
Oh yeah,
he's wonderful, and
that
the music
cool.
just gets you.
Gets you going.
Great bass line. It's just funky. He's dancing. It's brilliant.
Got the right entrance music, haven't
so
you?
Good.
Yeah.
He's so good.
Okay, one wrestling move that should be banned purely for looking too painful.
Oh, I would say the lumbar check.
Which one's that?
So it's like a back suplex. They spin, and then the guy who's giving it lifts his knees, and the person lands on the knees.
Oh,
it looks horrific.
It does make you go, ooh.
Yeah. It's totally safe.
Yeah.
Because I've done it myself.
But it looks like it should be banned.
But it looks like it kills someone. It really does.
If you could body slam one annoying thing in everyday life, what would it be?
And at the risk of getting too deep, I would probably say people thinking they can say whatever they want on the internet without getting punched in the face.
Oh, I agree. Yes.
Body
slam them.
Social media has made... Mike Tyson said it, I think. Social media has made people think they can say whatever they want without getting any consequences, and I hate that idea.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'd probably get rid of that.
Yeah. I'm with you on that one. Wrestling fans are the best because...
Passion. They're just the most passionate fans I've ever seen.
Yeah.
In good ways and bad ways, but they are... They're very, very passionate.
Very passionate.
And you can't replicate it.
So, finish this sentence to finish off with.
Mm-hmm.
Wrestling is...
Life. For
Wrestling
me,
is
anyway.
life. Yeah.
Wrestling is life. Or, actually, I do one better. Wrestling is real.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's cool.
I'll make that into a t-shirt, actually.
That's good. Yeah. I've just given you an idea there.
Perfect.
Do I get credit for that?
You'll get some credit for that, yeah. There we go. I'll write it in an asterisk on the back.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, cool. Thanks for coming on the podcast. I thought that was a really
Appreciate
cool chat, actually.
Yeah, it was fun.
And then it'd be great to get some of your wrestling friends on as well,
100%.
if we can.
I can do that.
So we might do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be cool. But
Awesome.
yeah, thanks.
Thank you very much.
Cheers. Yeah.